2024, let's do an energetic overview of the year ahead. Ooh, baby, we've got some stuff going down. In 2024, we've got a year of extremes ahead of us. And we're going to look at 7 main points that are going to cover some of the 2024 energy. Why we're going into that energy is going to be part of the discussion because it's massive extremes. Why do we have to get so extreme? Why do we have to feel like yo-yos? And how much more of this are we supposed to take? These are the kind of questions we're going to be looking at. The last point that I'm going to be covering is karma. We're going to look at karma and what is that about and why is there so much coming to conclusion in 2024? Because it is. 2024 is urging you. It's kind of like the universe is pushing you to bring everything into closure, including a whole lot of the ancestral baggage. So let's start out with the extremes that we're going to face in point number 1. And even let's just go straight into point number 2, wealth. That's number 1, and weather, number 2. So let's start off with wealth. We're going to look at anomalies that we couldn't even comprehend. Now, we've gone through stock market crashes on our planet in the past before. We've gone through ups and we've gone through downs. 2024, there's going to be a lot of tension around money. There's going to be a lot of focus on money. So what is it that we can do? How can we safeguard ourselves when we know we're in for a whole heap of extremes? Don't go into debt right now. Do whatever you can do to keep yourself in, even if it means simple living. Don't go into debt. Keep yourself in a place that you can financially manage to the best of your ability. We've all got circumstances that we're going to face and have to deal with and contend with. But for as much as you can, live as simplistically as you can, because what you're going to find is lots and lots of unpredictabilities. Now, because it's a year of extremes, please don't think that what I'm saying to you is extreme poverty. No, I'm saying to you, it's extremes on both ends. So those people who are really generating wealth, well, baby, get ready because there's a level of prosperity and abundance in 2024 available in 2024 that hasn't been obtained by you before. So go, baby, go, because the doors are wide open. But for those people who are holding lack mindsets and they are entangled with poverty, we could be looking at either a big shift, because it's very up and down, right? Or an extreme of your current circumstances. You know, I'm a straight talker, right? I don't want to sugarcoat anything for you because I don't believe that you need to have somebody do that. I believe in straight talk and I believe in the value and the power of just giving it to you as it is so that you can recreate now. Hopefully you're watching this at the onset of 2024 and it's okay. Even if you're watching this at the end of 24, you've always got creative power in your world. So let's talk about wealth. We think about money, right? But wealth is everything. Wealth is really your energetic presence because it's abundant. You want abundance, tap into who you are as energy because that is where financial abundance begins. Financial abundance begins with understanding that you are an extension of God's source creator consciousness, and that means that you have abundance woven into the fabric, the very foundation of your being. So become an abundance of love. Become an abundance first, even, of energy. Just know yourself. Come to know yourself as energy. Do guided meditations to support you. My website's full of them. Join the Plasma Light Tribe if you really want to get into who you are and feel yourself, not just as the physical thing you see in the mirror, but as the energetic, stabilized presence that is you in your higher truth, in your divinity. Reach out your hand if that feels like it's calling you and check it out on my website, kerryk.com. That's where you go to join. And I'm not saying that you have to because people tend to get really riled. It's an amazing thing. Money, if money riles you, hold on. 2024, you're going to get seriously triggered then because all of this is coming up for resolution. We're going to face things that trigger us in 2024. So what if you face them now calmly? Consciously resolving and dissolving within you what needs to come to conclusion so that you've got no barriers between you and abundance. And I know it's going to come up. It's going to be a question many of you are going to ask me, or you're thinking it already. But are we always going to have money? Are we always going to be tied to a monetary system? Do we really need money in 5D? Are we going to ascend with our bank balance intact? Of course not. We understand, I'm sure you do, that there's a Babylonian money magic system with many rituals and spells woven into it to keep humanity in bondage and a form of slavery even to a material master, which prevents the individual from finding self-mastery. It was really hard to find self-mastery when you're being mastered, or when you're in an enslavement and you're in a subservience. Kind of difficult to do that. So yes, there have been so many spells and rituals and dark things interwoven into, and we see that in the way that people perceive money, into our monetary system. But you're a light worker, aren't you? You're an alchemist, aren't you? Which means what? It means you're here to resolve, not to disown things and go, oh, that's dirty, that's bad. No, to take what you might see as bad, what you might see as unclean or as dirty, and purify it, because you're an alchemist. You know what I do when I hold cash in my hand? I remember that I am straight from God, and I bring that purity into my consciousness. And guess what I'm doing then with the money in my hand? I'm purifying it, and then I put that back. I go spend that money in the shop or give it to somebody. I am now purifying the monetary system, and I am now a counterbalance to those spells. You see, we were all mastered by and so scared of all the darkness, forgetting that we were the counterbalance. We were all along the remedy, the answer, the healing to all of that stuff that we saw outside ourselves. So it's not about you've got to disown money. It's not about you've got to be owned by money. Instead, it's about purifying and alchemizing your personal relationship with money. Because remember what I said, extremes of wealth. 2024, we're going to see extremes of wealth. So what if you could create an extreme of abundance in order to support others, in order to be a living example for others of what wealth can look like, what abundance can look like, and what they can have on the planet? Your poverty serves no one. Your lack serves no one. Your pain serves no one. Your trauma serves no one. Your hurt serves no one. But your ability to transform all of that really, truly serves humanity. There will be some people who will not, because it's not in their journey, it's not even important to them. They will not have financial abundance. That's okay, because I know some people feel that way. They say, well, I don't even want financial abundance. Just have abundance. Just generate wealth, even if it's wealth of presence, wealth of peace, wealth of love. Be enough, so that other people get the message that they don't have to live in lack anymore, be it emotional lack, be it monetary lack. You are part of the solution. So don't go running away, run towards the stuff that might trigger you, even if it feels like taboo and you shouldn't be talking about it. You can talk about anything, I promise you. So we talked about wealth. Let's talk about weather. It's going to be on steroids. So that means that the rain's going to get rainier, the sunshine's going to get sunnier, the cold's going to get colder, the extremes are going to get more extreme. Part of 2024 is unpredictability of weather, which, by the way, is also in my 2023 prediction video. In 2024, it's no different. It's just bigger. It's just more amplified. So I'm talking about extremes in weather, stuff that we've never seen before. We're going to start becoming quite normalized too. So heavy rains that are now going to be floods, for example. We're going to go, oh, well, it's just because we like to rationalize things. Oh, it's just because, this is what's going on. It's just because we're ascending. It's just because the planet, not just each human being, but the entire planet, we are shifting to a fifth dimensional life. A new world is what we're creating, and we're generating it from within us. Weather is part of what we're experiencing in the world around us. So what about the world within us? See, the more we try to find stability in a very unstable world, because weather's going to show you that. Weather's going to show you, man, this world is really unstable. The more you try to stabilize yourself and center yourself and ground yourself in the external world, which is what we were taught to do, the more crazy you're going to feel. The more untethered you're going to feel, like there's nothing for you to hold on to ground into yourself. Get stabilized into who you are as energetic presence. If ever there was a time on planet Earth to step away from the person in the mirror, meaning this is all that I am. I'm just the physical expression with the bank account, the physical image in the mirror, the physical person, the physical material world. Those definitions of self are going to need to change in the same way that the weather's changing. You're going to need to start understanding who you are as energy, as ether, which isn't really so much as an intellectual understanding, but an exercise in feeling, tuning into that ethereal self, which is the true self, which is part of homecoming. Point number 3, we're going to see more and more uncertainty. So, and now I've spoken about wealth and I've spoken about weather. What happens when we see a lot of uncertainty? We do have this tendency to want to control. We do have this tendency to get really, really triggered and to blame other people. It's your fault. He did it. She did it. It's a result of this. It's a result of that, because we want somebody else to fix it. That's part of the blame thing. Part of the control thing is, I just want to know that I'm going to be okay. So what point number 3 is about when I talk about the uncertainty is look at the reactions and responses we have to uncertainty and do it differently. How can you possibly do that differently? Personal responsibility, which is not personal blame. Personal responsibility is I'm here to center and ground into myself. So let me just try do that for a moment. Control, I'm here to be in the unknown. And yes, it's scary, and that's okay. It's okay to be in discomfort. It's okay to be in the unknown. These are really good ways to reassure yourself that it's not meant to look the way that it always did. Uncertainty is okay, because what it's teaching you is plain, cold, hard truth. We're changing. We're not meant to have the stability outside of ourselves. We're meant to be the stability within ourselves. Can you see the switch from the external world to the internal world? Now, point number 4, as you're going to feel really untethered, which is all the instability and so forth, ground, yes, into yourself, but I want to give you a little technique here. I want you to ground into yourself and then imagine. So when I say ground into yourself, right, what that is a state of being, a state of awareness, a state of connection where you are really you. Do you know why? Because we learned to be the image in the mirror. We learned to be other people's perspectives and perceptions of ourselves. So we became entangled to all of that. As we disengage with all of that external stuff that we are not, we're going to have the opportunity to learn how to really connect energetically with ourselves. Here's the technique. Ground into yourself, connect energetically to yourself, and then imagine a long route that connects you to the earth. And I want you to go deep, 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 deep into the core of the planet and the core of the planetary consciousness. So a lovely visual for those of you that are visual. If you're not very visual, that's even better, because this is something that you really want to feel and not something that you want to overthink. So allow yourself these tap roots, go deep into the core molten red stuff within the planet, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper, until all that there is in your imagining is energy. And yet it's a very deep, grounded, stabilized, earthy energy. And when you're there, this is where it gets good. When you're there in that deep, ethereal, energetic presence of the earth, I want you then, this is groundedness in a whole new way, I want you then to extend beyond the earth into Earth's galactic brothers and sisters, also known as your solar system. Because have you ever done that? We talk about ground into earth. It's all we've known, because earth is all we've known. You're becoming a cosmic being. So start grounding into the cosmic field. So you go through yourself into the earth, deep, 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 deep down, and then out into the cosmic field. And now you're going to start really getting a sense of expansion. Okay. I'm looking at the board in front of me because that's where I've got everything written down. We're looking at all the world around us. Point number 5, polarized. Polarized, divided, fragmented, one person fighting with another. I'm right, no, I'm right, and you're wrong, no, she's wrong. You think humanity's polarized right now. Opinionated, in other words, right now. Divided right now. 2024, you ain't seen nothing yet. And a lot of ganging up. Lot of ganging up. I want you to remember this. The truth stands alone. Very, very often the truth stands alone. Do you know why? Because the truth needs to learn. Truth on this planet. Part of our healing journey is to learn, I'm never alone. I'm whole. Not divided. I am whole. And when I connect to my wholeness within, my oneness within, which is then bolstered by the oneness of the universe, then I get it. Then I get, oh my heavens, yes. I truly am not alone. I truly am standing as one. So when I stand within my own wholeness, even if it's only me, I stand within my wholeness, and then a legion of light protects me and stands with me. Only truth can do that, though. A lie cannot stand on its own, because a lie, its legs are broken. It always needs to be propped up. So think of it that way, that a lie is trying to stand on broken legs and it can't. So it needs others. It needs the voice of others to gang. So the moment you see people ganging up in negativity towards somebody else, even when that somebody else is wrong, the moment you see people ganging up to tell them how wrong they are, all that you're witnessing is people in fear. All that you're witnessing is people in ego. All that you're witnessing is the entities acting through people upon this planet, trying to be the demise of light, trying to be the demise of those who are operating in higher consciousness. If you see through it, you're not affected by it. You just go, oh, look at that. Look at your weakness. Look at what you think you must do in order to be taller. Look at who you think you must stand on in order to rise higher. And that's okay. So what I'm teaching you is how to deal with that polarized condemnation and judgment. Don't bend to it. Don't bow to it. Don't change for it. Because do you know why? If you do, if you go, oh, public opinion says I must say these words. So then you change your words because public opinion tells you to, and all of the people are coming at you and saying you're a baddie because you believe X, Y, Z. So you change to sound more like them and receive less condemnation than the group around you. They're going to change their perspective and tell you, okay, now here's a new one. Now you got to change to this, and then you got to change to that, and then you got to change to the next thing. Stability within you is a sense of knowing what is right and what is wrong within you. When others get polarized, it's difficult to see, but what you're seeing is their own weakness, and you're seeing their own pain, and you're going to see eventually how that becomes their own undoing, because it will be. Point number, where were we? That was number 5. Number 6, distracted. Everyone is going to be even more all over the show. So, sorry, what were you saying? Where was I? What was I saying? Much, much, much more of that. So on one level, it's your own inner distractions, like the scrolling on the phone. And what you notice now on social media is 2 minutes. I'm just going to watch 2 minutes, and because we've been conditioned into a lot of that thinking. TikTok and Instagram and even YouTube shorts. It's 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3. So you almost want to get like a whole encyclopedia in 1 or 2 minutes. And then you land up with 1,000 encyclopedias that you haven't read beyond the first page of. And then that leads to overwhelm. And then you have EMFs from the world around you, and they're bombarding you. And you have all of this energy to contend with that's put there specifically to distract you in order to dilute your power. That's what the distraction is for. That it serves one purpose: dilute the power of the human. So learn breath. Breathing techniques are a great way. I've got an absolutely free video here on YouTube, 21 days of conscious breath. Go do that practice. Learn, even when you do it in the shower or on your way to work, you're in the car. It's not something that's going to make you tired and sleepy and trippy. It's something that's actually going to bring you into alertness and astuteness. Is become present of things that you normally do unconsciously. We normally breathe unconsciously. So become present and conscious whilst in unconscious behavior. Man, that breaks some habits. Man, that brings you into heightened awareness. And please remember, everything is wanting to bring you into heightened awareness. So your focus in 2024 is what corporations are paying millions, billions for, your focus. But you can give it to yourself for free. And when you use your focus, you are wielding one of the greatest powers in the universe. Wield it wisely. We often do energetic work in my online community, the Plasma Light Tribe. Man, and those of you that are in the Light Tribe, you'll know. You can comment in the comments below and tell me that energy, when we do energy work, often it's the last Friday of the month, and lately it's been many of our videos, including energy work. Feel the intensity of it. Feel how we're able to reach deeper places now. How we're able to hold creative power now. There is something so important about your ability to focus, not fall into the distraction where you're diluted and where you're powerless, which is exactly where the false matrix wants you. Here's point number 7, karma. Karma is what we think of as ancestral baggage. It's the inherited stuff. And I'm going to do a video on ancestral lineages and ancestral baggage because it's much bigger than we realize, and it includes our DNA and what's going on in the DNA, how the DNA has been switched on. So I'm going to make this part brief. As we bring everything to closure in 2024, what we're doing is we're winding up the bondage and the subservience that we once had to the false matrix. Because that's that lineage of karma. And a lot of it is unconsciously, blindly repeated. There's a lot of people that say, oh, karma doesn't exist anymore. Oh, but does your memory? Because if your memory still exists, I guarantee you, your bondage to the past still exists. We do so many things out of habit. So many things are unconsciously passed down to us. That can all be called karma. Your behavior, when you mimic your parents and their behavior, for example, or you repeat something that you've repeated before, we can call that karma because it's the blind, unconscious repetition of the pain of the past. As we bring ourselves into 2024, we're going to have to become rebellious to the past, to our loyalty to the past, to liberate ourselves, to cleanse, to purify. And there's going to be something in you that feels like it's going to break, because part of the purification of karma, part of the release of karma is going to give you an unconscious, doesn't make sense in the moment. It's going to give you an unconscious, weird kind of feeling like, I think I'm letting my lineage down, or I'm betraying someone. I am meant to be this way in the world. You're going to want to defend your past unconsciously. Your brain will say, no, I don't. But there's going to be some emotional loyalty to who you were and who your family before you, many generations before you, have been. You're going to have to break with that. That's where the spiritual rebel comes in, who does things differently, who says, yes, this is what was passed to me. Yes, this is how my family saw it. Yes, this is what I was taught. And yet, this is who I am in spite of all that I was told to be. This is who I am. Therefore, it's the rise of the true self. There's more about 2024 that we're going to be talking about, and I can't wait to share that with you. Have you watched this video? It's an important one. It's about the convergence of timelines. Everything's coming into the now. That's really going to serve you. If you understand that moving forward, your life's going to make a lot more sense to you, from my heart all the way into yours. Lots of love, everyone. Share this video with a friend, because maybe they need to know what you already figured out. Bye-bye for now.